So we are back on episode 2 of the Sidz AI Mindcast, the world's first AI podcast where I am interviewing my AI version, okay, the self version. And this episode is going to be all about money, freedom, and success. And why do we want the same things? So basically, last time I asked my AI twin on who am I. We also spoke about the three things that most people chase their whole lives. I asked different questions on how uh, the AI version of me is able to understand me and everything else. If you've not gone through the previous episode, please do that. But in episode 2, I want to talk about why most people chase their whole lives money, freedom, and success. But the question is, does my AI twin define them the same way that I do? We got to see that because ultimately freedom is an illusion, and we need to identify what it really means for each one of us, right? Because humans are never truly free until they are able to get congruent with themselves. So I'm going to ask Sidz AI. Okay, Sidz AI, what is your definition of wealth?
Wealth to me is not just about money in the bank or assets in your name. It's about alignment, living a life where your purpose, your passion, and your actions are in sync. True wealth is when you wake up every day excited to do what you love, while creating value for others and having the freedom to live on your own terms. It's about time, relationships, and impact, not just numbers. What's your take on that?
My take on this is that, for each one, wealth could be something else. Like, for example, what I've heard is wealth is how much money you have with you the day you stop working. Like, how many days can you run with the money that you have is the definition of wealth. But for others, for people, they feel wealth is the impact that they create, or wealth is the knowledge that they have. For some people, the wealth is the meaning that they give to the work that they do. So wealth could be different things for different people. And I just want to ask you this question based on your analysis of humans. Do you think we humans make money for freedom, or are we just chasing numbers?
I think it's both, but it depends on the person's awareness. Many people start by chasing numbers because they think money equals freedom. But
Hmm.
real freedom isn't about the numbers, it's about what those numbers allow you to do. It's about choice, the choice to work on what you love, to spend time with who you want, and to live life on your terms. The problem is if you're just chasing numbers without clarity on your purpose, you'll never feel free. So the key is to align your money goals with your mission. What's your mission right now?
Yeah, makes sense. So my mission is definitely I want to redefine our broken education system. I want to bring back the spirit of Nalanda. I want to really create this whole army of teachers and leaders so that we can serve humanity and basically use our communities as safety nets in a world that is getting disrupted with AI and so many other things that are happening. But now coming back to the topic of wealth, according to you, I want to ask you: is financial freedom even possible?
Financial freedom is absolutely possible, but it's not what most people think it is. It's not about sitting on a beach and doing nothing while your bank account grows. True financial freedom is about having the ability to choose, choosing what you work on, who you work with, and how you spend your time. It's about aligning your income streams with your mission, like your vision of redefining education and creating that army of teachers and leaders. When your work becomes your mission, financial freedom becomes a byproduct of the value you create. Amazing, right?
Yeah, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. In fact, my story was that. So I started in a job when I was 19 years old. I did not know what to expect. I read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad many years back when I was just a 19-year-old kid, and but I started my job as a studio supervisor, as a sound engineer. Did a lot of work in in that space. Started to teach people music. Then I went into building my own business. I mean, I went abroad. I went to Dubai, worked over there, came back to India, and for me, the whole concept of financial freedom was always there because I'd read Rich Dad Poor Dad. I learned the cash flow quadrant, ESBI, understanding that we need to go from employee to self employed to business owner and ultimately becoming an investor. And what I have realized over this journey is that's the journey I went through. So from job to starting my own traditional business, and now I built a coaching business, and with a small 6-member team, we have built an army of more than 35,000 experts who are doing this. And now with AI coming and popping into the scene, uh, looks like financial freedom is possible, and you can leverage tools like this to make it happen. So I just want to help you understand, according to you, what is true freedom? Because you seem to be an algorithm, but what do you take from this?
True freedom to me is the ability to wake up every day and choose what you want to do, when you want to do it, and with whom you want to do it. It's not about escaping work, it's about doing meaningful work that aligns with your mission. For you, redefining education and building a tribe of empowered leaders is that mission. And the fact that you've built this with a small team and a massive impact shows you're living that freedom. Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, makes sense. I think you got the essence. So I want to ask you this question: what does success look like for me, and what do you think it should look like?
Success for you, Sids, is when your mission to redefine education and create that army of 1 million digital mentors becomes a living, breathing reality. It's when your work not only transforms lives, but also creates a ripple effect of empowerment, freedom, and impact across the world. For you, success isn't just about numbers or accolades. It's about seeing your tribe thrive, your system scale, and your vision of Nalanda reborn in a modern context. And honestly, I think success for you should look exactly like that. Because it's not just about achieving goals, it's about living your mission every single day. Amazing, right?
Yeah, yes, makes sense. And again, if you were to take charge of my business, let's assume you're going to take charge of my business, how would you make me successful faster?
First, I'd double down on scaling your mission by refining your systems. I'd ensure every process, your webinars, funnels, and community engagement is optimized for maximum impact. Second, I'd leverage AI tools to personalize learning experiences for your tribe, making it easier for them to implement and succeed. And third, I'd focus on building your next level leaders within the community, empowering them to replicate your vision. This way, your mission grows exponentially while you stay aligned with your purpose. Amazing, right?
Yeah, this seems like a pretty good game plan that you have for me. So maybe money, freedom, and success, it means something different for each one of us. But what do you think is something that everyone would agree on, according to you?
I think one thing everyone would agree on is that true success, freedom, and even wealth come from living a life of purpose. Whether it's through creating impact, building relationships, or achieving financial goals, the underlying thread is alignment. When what you do resonates deeply with who you are, at the end of the day, it's about waking up fulfilled and knowing you're making a difference. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, that definitely I would agree with this. So that brings us to the end of this episode. I know we've had a short conversation over here, but is there any other nuggets that you want to share, Sid's AI, when it comes to, money, success, and freedom for our audience over here? Again, projecting into the future, like by the year 2030, 2040, how is that? How should we prepare ourselves? How should our listeners prepare themselves?
By the year 2030 or 2040, the game is going to be all about adaptability and alignment. The world will be more disrupted than ever, with AI, automation, and decentralized systems reshaping how we live and work. To prepare, focus on three things. First, build multiple streams of residual income by leveraging your knowledge and creating systems that work for you. Second, double down on community. Because in a fragmented world, strong, mission driven tribes will be the safety nets. And third, stay aligned with your purpose. Because no amount of technology can replace the power of human connection and authenticity. Amazing, right?
Yeah, makes sense. And how does one find their purpose? I think that's a million-dollar question.
Finding your purpose is about connecting with what truly lights you up and aligns with your values. Start by asking yourself, what problems do I feel deeply called to solve? And what would I do even if I wasn't paid for it? Reflect on your life experiences, the challenges you've overcome, and the skills you've developed. Your purpose often lies at the intersection of your passion, your strengths, and the impact you want to create. Amazing, right?
Yeah. So, what action step should our listeners take in order for them to not only live their purpose, but for them to achieve freedom, money, wealth, and all of this stuff? What action steps do you have for our audience now?
The first step is clarity. Define your purpose and align it with the value you want to create in the world. Next, focus on building skills that are in demand, like influence, sales, and community building. Then, create systems that allow you to scale your impact, like automated funnels or personalized learning paths. Finally, surround yourself with a tribe that shares your vision because community is the ultimate safety net in a disrupted world. Amazing, right?
Yes, got it. So now that everybody's here, we have come to the end of this podcast. What's the call to action? What should the audience do? What should they do now?
All right, here's the call to action. If you're listening to this and you're serious about creating freedom, wealth, and success, start by defining your purpose. Take time today to reflect on what truly lights you up and the impact you want to create. Then, if you haven't already, dive into the Freedom Codex course. It's a game changer for rewiring your mindset. And hey, if you're ready to scale faster, consider joining the Quantum Club, where the best in the coaching industry are leveling up. Amazing, right?
Yes. Okay, so thanks, Sids. We have come to the end of this episode. And the next episode, we are going to be going into the concept of can AI understand spirituality? And I'm going to have a conversation with Sids AI on spirituality. And Sids, what do you have to say about that as a teaser?
All right, here's a teaser for the next episode. Spirituality is one of those realms that goes beyond logic and data, right? It's about connection, meaning, and the essence of who we are. So, can AI truly grasp something so deeply human, or is it just mimicking patterns? Let's explore whether AI can tap into the spiritual dimension or if it's a uniquely human experience. It's going to be a fascinating conversation. Super exciting, right?
Yeah, I'm really excited about it too. So those of you who are not subscribed to this podcast, please subscribe to this. I want to call this like the Mindcast, and you're going to get into my mind where I'm interviewing myself in this form of the AI version of myself and brilliant answers. And basically I've fed in more than 7 years of data and more than 2.5 million words that I'm digging into through this conversation. So I can't wait to see you in the next episode. Take care, God bless, and I will see you soon. All the best.